How could someone like me be a queen?
Or even a princess?
Someone with fear of strangers' eyes gazing upon them. I was born into royalty, and to avoid it,
I will die in this room. I died in this room.
Hey you guys, welcome to my Face Awards submission for the theme royalty. Basically, when I thought royalty, I thought, oh my god, I couldn't do it because I have social anxiety. So I became the princess who never left her room and eventually became her room so that nobody could see her. If you guys enjoy my tutorial, please vote for me on the Face Awards website. I appreciate it so much. I hope you enjoy this tutorial. I am going to start with the beauty portion of the tutorial. So first I'm going to prime using the NYX HD Studio Photogenic Primer. And I'm applying it to my whole face so that the foundation will stick on and be super flawless. Next I'm going to use the Total Control Foundation Drops in Alabaster and the NYX number 22 brush. Since this is lighter than my natural skin tone, I'm going to bring it all the way down my neck. As a princess who has never left her room, she would be quite pale. To conceal, I'm going to use the HD Studio Photogenic Concealer in the shade Porcelain, mixed with some of the special effects paint in white to make it paler. I'm going to apply that below my eyes, down the center of my nose, the center of my forehead and chin, and Cupid's bow. I'm also going to bring that onto my eyelids. And then I'm using my number 22 brush again to blend it all out. I'm also going to use some of the white paint to add some highlights to my neck. Then I'm going to set my face with the HD Studio Photogenic Setting Powder and the number 21 brush. Now I'm going to contour with the Highlight and Contour Palette using this shade here with my number 23 brush. I'm going to add shadow to the hollow of my cheekbone to make them look a little bit sunken. Also going to define my jawline, and then using my number 21 brush in the same shade, I'm going to dust that along the top of my forehead, and then I'm contouring my nose with the number 27 brush. Moving on to brows, I'm going to use the 3-in-1 brow pencil, and I'm just filling in my brows with little feather strokes using the pencil end. And this is in the shade Ash Brown. The brows are going to be quite light. I'm just penciling them in first to give them more shape, since I only have half a brow. Then going back in with the Porcelain Studio Photogenic Concealer, I'm just going to brush that on top of my brows and comb it through with a spoolie. Going back in with the Highlight and Contour Pro Palette and my number 27 brush, I'm going to use the contour shades to add some darkness to my eyes. I want the princess to be pretty, but also sad and fragile. I'm making it darker in the inner corner for a sleepy eye effect. I'm also going to darken the lower lid. Keeping it super blended because I don't want it to look like an eyeshadow look necessarily, more like darkness caused by lack of sleep. Next, I'm going to add a wing with the Super Fat Eye Marker. Just lining the upper lid and then looking straight ahead at my mirror, decide where I want my wing, and then I connect my liner to the wing. And then we gotta do the other side the same. Wish me luck. Now I'm going to apply some XXL mascara. For lashes, I'm going to chop up the amplified lashes. And then I'm going to glue on the little chunks individually for a different look. I'm also going to glue some of the leftover chunks to the lower lash line. Next, I'm going to add some ombre blush in the shade Mauve Me using the 25 brush. I'm just applying it to the apples of my cheeks, and I'm also going to add some to the tip of my nose. I'm also going to pick up some of this blush on my 27 brush, and I'm going to add it around my eyes just to tie it all together. Next, I'm going to highlight using the 24 brush and the Strobe of Genius Illuminating Palette. I'm going to use this shade here. I'm going to apply that to my cheekbones, forehead, a little bit on my chin, Cupid's bow, and the tip and center of my nose. I'm also going to add that to the corners of my eyes and under my brow bone. To line my lips, I'm going to use the Slim Lip Pencil in Peekaboo Neutral. And then I'm going to use the Liquid Suede lipstick in Tea and Cookies. Next, I'm going to add some freckles with my number 11 brush and the darkest shade in the contour palette. And just dabbing them in to make them look a little bit more believable. Now I'm going to give it a spray with the Dewy Finish Setting Spray. And now I'm going to put on my royal attire. So now we can get into the fun part of the tutorial. Alright, so I switched one contact and I also added some greenery to my backdrop to make it look like I've been here for a very long time. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tear off some strips of tissue paper. I'm just tearing them in the shape that I want on my face. I'm going to secure the tissue paper to my face using lash glue. Just kind of dabbing the glue on approximately where it's gonna go. And now I am just placing it down onto my face. I want it to look like it's peeling, so I'm going to leave the edges loose. And then I'm just going to trim off the excess. And then I'm just adding some more glue along the edge to make sure it's really secure and so that it's flush with my skin. While I'm waiting for this to dry a little bit, I'm going to do some stuff on this side of my face. I want this side of my face to be even paler and ghostlier than it already is. So I'm gonna go back in with the Special Effects Cream Paint in white. And I'm just gonna apply some of that with a teardrop sponge. Just going right over my princess makeup. And it doesn't have to be perfect and blended because I'm dead. For some ghostly contouring, I'm going to use the Single Shadow in Raven, and using my 23 brush, I'm just going to stipple some into the hollow of my cheekbone, along my jawline, nose, and forehead, in the little collarbone crevice. And then I'm going to go in with my 27 brush with some Raven, and I'm going to darken around the eye. Again, just using a stippling motion for lots of texture. I'm also going to add that to the fold of my nose and a little bit around my mouth. I'm also going to put this under the tissue to create a shadow. Going in with my highlight and contour palette and the NYX number 8 brush, I'm going to dip this into some of the brown really softly, and then I'm going to stipple it onto my face to create lots of texture. And then I'm going to give it a swirl in my white cream paint, and I'm going to go back in and stipple some white. I'm going to leave this side for now and then move on to the wallpaper side. To make a paint color to match the wallpaper, I'm going to use orange, yellow, and white. To thin out the paint a little bit and also dull down the color a tiny bit, I'm going to add a few drops of the NYX Total Control Foundation drops in the shade Light. And then I'm going to paint this half of my face with my number 22 brush. Before I start adding any of the floral detail to the wallpaper side, I'm going to shade a little bit using the highlight and contour palette again. And add some detail around the edge. I'm just going to make sure that under the paper has a nice dark shadow. Now using the Special Effects setting powder, I'm going to dust that on top to keep it in place. Now I'm going to start drawing the design on my face. I'm going to start just by sketching it out with the matte black liner, just really lightly. Now I'm going to go in with the black Special Effects cream paint and the number 20 brush and add all the little details. I'm going to cool it on the black for a second, and I'm going to make some light green with the white and the green. I'm also adding some yellow. And now I'm going to start painting in some leaves. And then going back in with the black for little details on the leaves. Now I'm going to make some pink, and I'm going to paint in a little bird guy. Also using that pink for the flower on my neck. Then adding a little bit of white to these flowers. And then back in with black on my number 11 brush. Give my bird a little eye, a little beak. I'm going to super carefully set this with some of the Special Effects powder. And then I'm going to go back in with the Single Shadow Raven on my number 27 brush. And on my wallpaper side, I'm going to make it a little bit more skull-like. Just going in with some white paint because I decided I wanted a little bit of a jawbone in there. Also going to give some dimension to the eye socket. Going in with the highlight and contour kit again and my number 8 brush. Just going to stipple a little bit of texture onto my wallpaper. Now I'm going to go back over to this side. I'm going to use this slide-on pencil in Rosy Sunset, and I'm just going to sketch in some kind of gross, creepy veins. And then to make my lips look kind of messed up, I'm going to grab some of the white paint, and I'm going to purse my lips together really hard. I'm going to dab it over top. And then when I unpurse, I've got all kinds of lip cracks. Perfect. I'm gonna put my princess stuff back on and then come back and see if it needs any work.
And this is the finished dead wallpaper princess look. Thank you so much for watching my tutorial. Please let me know if you vote for me. I would love to say a huge thank you. You can vote 3 times a day, and I can use all the help I can get because the artists that I'm competing against are insanely talented and intimidating. Fingers crossed that I will see you guys soon in the next challenge.